Welcome back. I'm a cat named Zen, and this is Magical Blush, a game I wouldn't normally have picked up, played, and enjoyed, but I downloaded this demo for two reasons. When looking for demos, I try to select developers who are active on social media, who are pushing their game, who are doing the work to get their game noticed. It's hard out here to get eyes on your game, and even more difficult to get someone to download and take the time to actually play your demo. So where I can, I would like to help indie devs with that. Helping small developers is one of the missions of this channel. The second reason I have thoroughly enjoyed this game is it made me nostalgic and reminiscent of growing up with my little sister. It reminded me that you can find joy in things you wouldn't normally seek out yourself. For example, when we were little, my sister loved Beauty and the Beast, and she wanted to watch it all day. We would watch it on average 6 to 8 times a day back to back. Now my favorite songs from Beauty and the Beast are Be Our Guest and Belle. And now I really enjoy most all Disney movies, DreamWorks, Pixar, and many of those cute animated 3D films. Then Sailor Moon came out, and I was again forced to watch every single episode multiple times through, as much as the show was on. After this, not only did I really enjoy the tuxedo mask memes that generally float around, but I also explored and enjoy a much wider range of anime than I would normally have, since I'm typically the person who likes kung fu movies. Recently especially, I've been playing shooters and games similar to the Dark Souls games that are very much the opposite of what Magical Blush is. I wanted to give this game a chance, even though it's something opposite to what I would normally enjoy. Because one of my sayings is you never know where you're going to find your next favorite thing, whether it's a movie, book, music artist, or in this case, a game. You never know where you're going to find joy, and it's always good to be open to it. So, thank you for listening to that. Let's move on and talk about Magical Blush. I'll try to describe why I've had all these feelings about this demo, even though it might just end up being some nameless nostalgia that just happened to hit just right. Magical Blush is the story of a magical princess who contained the primal elemental forces that were sending the world into imbalance. She saved the world before she went into a several hundred-year meditation. However, these elemental forces have escaped, and now our princess is back at it again, ready to save the world. I would say Magical Blush has Zelda-vania vibes in the best way. You go on adventures to reseal these elemental forces, find out what happened to your brother, save the world, and look good doing it. I mean, look at her hair physics floating around, and look at these stars following where she runs. This is fantastic. She's absolutely fabulous. And before we get into all the features, I wanted to mention that Magical Blush has save transfers from the demo to the full game. I know sometimes playing a demo can feel like a waste of time when you have any grinding mechanics for currency that you're going to lose when the full game releases. Okay, let's talk spells, my magical girlies. I got 6 spells during the demo, with at least 19 more on the way. Some spells restore your mana, and more powerful spells cost mana. You can also upgrade your spells as you defeat enemies in the world. At any time, you can equip a total of 8 of the 25 spells. You just hit right trigger and it will toggle to the other set of spells. Many elemental enemies have one immunity to a certain elemental type, so it'll be very important to balance the elements that you need versus spells that will give you mana and take mana. Using all fire spells is fun until you fight a fire monster who takes exactly 0 damage from fire. I'm also feeling legally blonde here, so let's talk accessories. There are also a huge host of talismans that you can equip that each give you different and interesting gameplay changing effects, like extra money, extra mana, and extra damage when you have only a single heart of health left. So far I found these while exploring the world and defeating monsters. But what kind of things are we doing out in the world anyway? Let's talk exploration and combat. You can count on having smooth and responsive controls when you explore this charming and beautiful world. I love the world design, and I especially love the way these trees move in the forest level. Oh yeah, waving pixel trees from Magical Blush could be a lo-fi channel. As you explore the world, you'll find secrets, extra paths, and come across a varied array of elemental enemies and intense mini-boss fights. The intensity goes from cozy puzzle game to doom quick on these more difficult encounters. You're expected to use all of your spells, and the right ones, to beat these encounters. Luckily, your dodge has 2 charges to it and allows you to dodge right through attacks. I love that the developers just let you explore the world on your own. I haven't noticed any nav points or hand-holding in the game so far. It feels good and makes me feel smart to have figured something out in-game instead of being led to the next point of interaction. I also found these mini-games you can play that give you great rewards for beating them. The one I found in the demo has you use your spells to bounce this block into others and knock them all out. Everything in the demo had small, considerate touches of creativity on them. I must have stared at the HUD details for a good 5 minutes before I moved on to zapping baddies. And also, remember the trees I mentioned earlier? Yep, they're still there. If this gameplay looks fun and you yourself want to be a fantastic, magical girly with huge spells, you won't have long to wait. This game releases on September the 10th. From what I've played so far, this is a day one purchase for me. It makes me feel nostalgic for a time in my life and not just an old game that I used to play. Exploration and combat both seem really fun, and I'm excited to creatively express myself with the kinds of spells that I'll be using and the talisman accessories as well. If you're more of a wait and see kind of gamer, though, then please still add this game to your wish list. It helps out titles like this before they release. You'll also see when it goes on sale, which is always nice. So again, remember the 10th of September. And that's it for me. Let me know what you thought of Magical Blush, and I'll leave you with lo-fi waving trees while I work on the next video. See you in the next one.